everybody, I'm Joey.
And I'm Alex.
And today we are going to go somewhere that no one's ever gone before.
No, that is true. That's true.
I can't think of a Star Trek tagline. We're going to talk about Star Trek away missions.
Wow, you just ruined it, by the way.
Ruined it. Spoiler?
Ta-da!
Well, they clicked on the video. They know what it is.
Oh, there we go.
All right, Star Trek away missions.
Yes.
This is an IP that I really, really love.
Me too, me too. Mm-hmm.
But it has let me down a couple times.
True.
But I'm really hoping
like most IPs, I feel let me down.
Right.
You know, a couple of times.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like I really want to find one that actually gives me the feeling of Star Trek and even like the miniatures of moving around that ship and all that. That's what I want, you know? Most of these, like there's a great...
you're reliving an episode of TNG.
Right, exactly.
Yes. Okay, all right.
So I want all of that. So that was what I was hopeful this was. Star Trek missions. I was overly excited about this. Like, really obnoxiously excited. Like, talking to people like, hey, will you play this with me? Will you play this? So... before we get into what we thought about it, first off, let's do a quick overview about how it's played. Okay, we are set up for a game of Star Trek missions right now. And this is set up for the Federation versus the Borg. Now, I'm not going to go through all the rules here. This is just a quick overview to find out how the game plays. The good thing is there is a quick reference card here that will go through all the breakdown, mission prep, rounds, and then at the end, beam up and debrief. So quickly, I'm going to go through all of that. Now, this is a skirmish-style game, but it's not really about fighting. It's all about getting points and completing missions. So first off, you're going to set up the board, everything, choose your core mission. You're going to put all the characters out, and then you're also going to get your support deck set up. There's a support deck and a mission deck for both the Borg and the Federation, and then you're going to begin the rounds. So normally you would discard unwanted cards at the beginning, but first round you're not going to have any, and it is played over 3 rounds. So then you're going to draw up to 5 support cards and 5 mission cards. So each person is going to have a hand of 5 support and then 5 mission cards. Now I'm going to show you the figures real quick before we go into the action phase. Now you'll notice the Federation has different people out here. And these are, I just put 2 of these out. Everyone's going to have all of their figures on their side with these pegs in. Now, this mission starts off with 2 Borg characters, but more will come out in subsequent rounds being beamed onto the ship. So you're going to have 2 versus 4, but that is balanced out in a moment, and I'll show you how. But first, let's go to these pegs here. Notice these pegs. These pegs are how you take damage. This is Data right here. This peg is on 4 spaces. If he ever takes damage, he can remove one of these pegs. For example, his attack is 3, his defense is 3, his skill is 3. So he's got a movement of 4. If he takes a damage, this peg is removed. Now his movement drops down to 2. Or instead of that, he can remove a peg over here from attack, and he can make his attack 2. So these pegs are kind of your lifeline, and also you can get weaker as you start to take damage. So that's how damage is taken for these guys and the Borg. Now the Borg have something very unique here. The Borg can actually move different characters instead of their own because they're all kind of a hive mind type thing. So anyway, so they've got this here, and you're going to have you're going to have your attack, your phasers, bare hands, and everyone has an ability they can do too. And they also have tags up here. Data has computers, engineering, and science. And notice Riker over here will have command, diplomacy, security, Shelby, command, engineering, security, and Worf, of course, computer and security. So that's going to help them at certain skill checks, which we're going to get to in a moment, and that is the crux of the game, the skill checks. So we've got all this right here, and now we're going to go into actually the action phase. So first off is you're going to assign what's called bonus actions. And bonus actions are, like I said, this is going to be balancing out. There's 4 Federation, only 2 Borg characters. So the person with the less characters gets the number of bonus actions of the characters that they have less of. So pretty much there's 4 Federation, 2 Borg. So the Borg is going to get 2 bonus action tokens that they're going to be able to take 2 extra actions with their Borg. Now again, these only are sitting here. I don't have enough room on the camera to show you all the Borg, but all of these will be set up on Borg character and all of these Federation on the Federation player. Okay, and during the action phase, you're going to roll a die, and whoever has the highest number is going to be the first player for that. And the first player is going to activate a character, and then once they activate the character, they're going to do 2 actions with that character and then drop activated. So you know that Data has been activated this round. And the next person is going to go 1 of 5. They're going to do 2 actions with them and drop down activated. So that way you're going to keep going through there and everybody is activated, and also you have used your bonus actions. Okay, let's go through the actions that are on the back here, the actions that you can take. Like I said, the 2 actions. First off is the move action, very simple. You're going to go according to your movement here. Attack action, you're going to be able to attack somebody with range or melee, depending on if you're close or far away. We're going to go into the attack at the end. I'm going to show you that because that attack is the same way you do a skill check. So we're going to go into that in a moment. But let me go through these actions first. Then you can take cover. Take cover would be, if Data takes cover, you're going to drop this over him. And that way he's going to take 1 extra die if he's defending and if he's attacked. And the special action, and those are going to be on the cards in your hand. You can play certain cards. For example, this is an event here, and you can be played, and if there's a friendly character at the operations terminal transporting room, you can do a site-to-site transport. And then also you can equip a phaser rifle, so you have a better weapon than just a phaser. And also those are the support deck, but you also have some of these mission decks. Now, these mission decks are going to be pretty much how you get the points. This is an action. You can use this as an action to score this card if you have a character in the science terminal on the bridge, operations terminal on the bridge, and medical terminal in sick bay. Operations, sorry, in engineering. So if you have all those characters, you can drop this at the terminals. You can drop this and then score 40 points for in-game. So you're going to try to position those people around the ship and then use that as an action and get those 40 points. And again, there's going to be different actions like this. You're going to take an engineering skill test at an operations terminal. So let's go into skill checks right now. Take a moment. We're going to go and do this. Everybody's got their dice. Now, first off, the skill check is to accomplish that, you are going to need to roll a skill check. Right here, Data has 3 in skill. Okay, and then you're going to add your tags. So computer's engineering. So if it is a computer skill, he's going to get 1 extra die, just like this. So he's going to roll these. Anything over 4, these are 6s, so he has a success. So we're going to drop that, and he has succeeded in that skill check. So if he did that while he was over here at the operations terminal, he would have scored this. And then there's also a bonus down here for scoring 5 points for each additional success. So that's how you do a skill check. Very simple. You're going to try to get 4 or above, which pretty much all of them were. That never happens for me. Now, let's go into attack. Attack is going to be a bit different. So say Data shot at 1 of 5 here. He's going to attack with a phaser rifle. He's got +1 attack die, so he's going to have an extra attack die right here. And now 1 of 5 is going to look at their defense. Their defense is 2. Okay? So now everybody's going to roll, just like this. All right? And now they're going to assign them, and that's what this is for. You're going to put value highest to lowest here. So now the 6 beats the 5, so that's 1 hit, and that's 2 hits. Now any of these unopposed, you have to have 4 or up to do a hit. So none of these hit. All right? So what could happen is the board player could say, you know what, I'm going to re-roll so I can discard a card, get rid of it, and then re-roll my die. So 5 and 5. Well, that first hit is still coming through, but this one is canceled. So the Federation player would only be doing 1 damage to him. Now, the Federation person could also discard a card and then re-roll any number of die if they want to. They can re-roll this one, or they can re-roll these 3 right here, just like this. There we go. So that all of a sudden will change it dramatically. Wow. So right here, you would be getting 4 hits over here, because that one beats here, beats there, so it would be 4 hits on the board player. So that's how the attacks work, and this will be mitigated by different things, like you can get phaser rifles. It depends on what weapon you use, but that's it right there, and you're going to then take that damage, and certain weapons will give certain types of damage. Now, one thing the board can do is they have assimilate weapons, and if you do assimilate, then you get to take control of that Federation character. And you put this over there, and now that Federation character has a bit different attributes, but now they belong to you and can be used with your hive mind. Okay, so the other actions are you can use different things on your card. Again, the equipment I went over, and then the missions. The Borg are going to have missions as well. To complete this, you're going to play on the table, and then you're going to take an engineering skill chest at operations and terminal the main corridor, and you're going to get tokens using that. Then you can also draw another support card as an action. A couple other things is if you are ever with another character, then you are giving them backup and they get to roll one extra die. Okay, so you're going to continue that round until everyone's activated. Then you're going to go into the next round, do bonus actions, do everything like that, and then go through 3 rounds. And then at the very end, you are going to add up all your scores, and whoever has the highest point total from everything at the bottom and anything you've got with your assembled ship or your repair ship, your in-game components there. And the most points wins. And that is Star Trek Missions, a quick overview. Okay, again, that is just a quick overview, not all the rules, but that is pretty much how it is played. And it is different than you would think it is because like this right here, it even says on here, Federation versus the Borg.
Yes.
Makes you feel like it's a battler.
Correct. You're thinking this is going to be one team versus one team.
Right.
Surprise.
And it is just point oriented. So
correct.
First off, let's talk about some component wise.
Okay.
Components. The miniatures, I think some people don't like them because they have more of a comic book look to them.
Correct. And, I'm okay with them. I think, you can do it if you want to go as far as painting them, you could and make them look amazing.
Right.
I think they looked fine. I did notice that the Borg people are really hard to see. You have to physically pick them up and look at them. That's a little harder to see.
Yes.
Minor issue, but it was a thing you had to just be a little bit more piddly than you may be wanting to do, just to figure out what's that guy, who's that one again, what's his number? Yeah.
I agree, and that's a big thing too, is like they do have a cartoony look, which is fine for me. I don't mind that at all.
No.
I mean, rather than the big, like, detailed thing.
Yeah.
But the Borg, you have to look and read 1, 2, 3, whatever, which is hard.
Yeah.
Even the cutest. But anyway, but the minis are fine. I think the minis are really good.
I do too. I think they look great. Yeah.
And also, the component-wise, the finish on the cards, I'm not crazy about that, but that's neither here nor there.
I like the pictures on the cards.
Pictures of the cards are great.
I felt they went well with what the card was doing.
Right,
yeah.
the style of the cards. I also like the pegs. Okay, the pegs that you drop down, but the problem is they don't stay in.
No, they are a pain to set up.
And they become fiddly, so you bump one, it'll come off. Like if you get 2 damages, you'll brush them, they come off, you have to put them back. They don't really, I think it's a better system that they could be using than those little bitty stars.
But I like the idea of it, for sure.
I do too. And then I did kind of laugh. I'm like, I think you got Data, you got Worf, you got Riker, and Shelby.
Shelby. Good old Shelby.
Shelby. It's
there she is.
Okay, we're holding on to some of the core people for a future expansion. Totally okay with that.
Yes.
So anyway, Shelby's in there. So, all right. So now let's get into some of the things that I'm not crazy or that might be problems for people.
One of the things I liked, going back to a pro real quick, is I liked how it was played over 3 rounds. I did like that. It's quick. Each round, every character, everyone gets 1 action. I like this. Keeps the game going. I didn't feel like it was too long by any means.
And okay, so let's talk about other pluses too. It almost feels too short.
Correct. It almost did feel like that, yeah.
And you might wonder, why is this a pro? Well, the pro is because you enjoy it that much that you want to keep playing longer. You almost don't get to complete that mission. And also, another pro is moving is fun. Because you're moving around the ship.
Yeah, for sure.
Whichever side you're playing on, like the Enterprise possibly, where you're moving around, you get to go the turbo lift, which I didn't cover in the overview, but the terrain can change things. Like the turbo lift will allow you to go different parts of the board. But I like that feeling of moving around the Enterprise.
Correct. It was fun.
And we even have that like that ship noise in the background playing through the speaker. So, and then as far as the Borg's players, assimilating is fun too, as being able to assimilate those other characters and be able to use them. I really enjoyed that.
Yes.
So, and also the dice board, it actually works when you put down the dice and you compare them to the die next to it. Because I'm like, this is not needed.
No,
at all.
But I did like that way you did it. It was a kind of a nice thing, and you laid it out, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna discard a card. I'm gonna reroll now. Maybe I won't do that now that I see them. I'm gonna save my cards for later. I did like how you laid it out.
Yes, and that at first, you can do it without the board, but the board makes it really linear.
Yeah.
But then I do like that push and pull. Some people might not like the battle mechanic because you really have to choose to lose. You have to choose to not want to discard a card and just take that damage.
Yeah.
Because you can always mitigate and re-roll. But then you're getting rid of a card that could be a mission that gets you points later.
Yeah.
So there's kind of that. At first I was like, this is taking too long. But then when you start just getting rid of cards, you're like, oof. that really hurts.
Because once they're gone, they're gone. You can't get them back.
Yeah. I wondered about that, but it actually does work, that give and take.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy that. Other things, the battle does sometimes seem long. That was the big thing. But now the biggest thing about this box that I have to cover is I don't think, I can see why they picked Federation and the Borg.
Correct.
But because of the IP of them, but this is not a good pick for the core box.
No, I would completely agree with that. Because like you said, you think this is a game where you want to attack, but honestly, the way you win this game is by completing your missions and then at the end scoring those points. So your goal is almost to never interact because you just want to solely do your mission cards. Unless you have some mission cards that allow you to get an extra 10 points if you do attack.
With the Federation, that's true, but the other ones will push you more into, like the Borg. The problem with them is you have to play very un-Borg-like.
Yes.
Because if you sit there and you just do your missions and I don't interact with the Federation at all, which is what you want to do, you're going to lose, and you're going to lose bad. It's not like where it's a little bit unbalanced. It's greatly unbalanced in the fact that the Borg is going to probably win 90-something% of the time. In my experience, there are ways to mitigate it. People are going to comment and say, "Oh no, that's not true. You can do this or do that." It's a given because you have to play a certain way to win with the Borg. When the Federation, you're a bit freer to play different ways, which I'm okay with the strategy. But first off, say that.
Yes.
Say that to me in there. And they didn't. Because let's look at these. For example, these are the mission cards. And here are some mission cards from the Federation, right? So you're going to take a security test, the operation of the bridge, and then you have an engineering skill test at operations and engineering. And if you pass both, you get 35 points, right? Well, this right here, then you can have everybody in the same spot, and you can get 40 points.
Well, bam.
Boom. Now, let's take a look over here. At the Borg. At the Borg, you can take a command test at the bridge, pass, you get 5 points.
Ugh.
This one, you get 15 points, but you have to pass this 3 times. This one, you get 40 points, which is the same as everybody standing in a certain area over here. But for this one, you've got to pass it, you've got to have 7 or more assimilation tokens to get that 40 points.
Yeah, I must admit, the Borg mission cards did seem greatly unbalanced to the Federation cards.
Right.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I did feel like the Federation card, you could just do a skill check and on your first turn, and then you had your second turn. If you fail, then you're fine.
Right.
Where the Borg, it was hard to get those points because it just felt like your skill test, you will be wasting multiple turns just to get 20 points.
And it's almost disheartening when you have 15 and then all of a sudden the Federation will just all of a sudden plop down for 35. That's disheartening. And on top of that, the Borg, normally when you see the shows, they will just walk around and ignore the Federation people and just do what they have to do. So you want to play Borg-like, but you can't to actually win with this faction. You have to really lean in to what they're doing.
Yeah.
And you can, you have to interact as a Borg player. One other thing that I will mention is they have the ready-made decks, but then you can also put them together and kind of create your own. So you can, as you know the game, you can create the experience you want to have with your deck.
Yes.
But the one thing that I don't like is the fact that they don't have a list of starter cards. So you can't go back to that initial deck.
Oh, that is very, very frustrating. Correct.
So
yes.
I like you can find it online. A little search at BGG, you can find it. But so
it's just an extra step you have to take.
Exactly.
Yes.
So here's my thoughts of the game. The system I'm removing from this exact 2 factions because these 2 factions, if you play them the way you want to play them initially, the game can really feel flat. It can feel like that's it. I'm just going through, I'm going to go do missions, and then eventually the Federation is going to win by 100 points. Or I'm going to try to interact with you, I'm going to try to shoot you as a Borg player while the Federation does missions, and I'm going to lose by 40, but also I have no chance of winning. But if you balance that out, I think it could work. Now, the big strength in this, I think, is the system, so I'm kind of judging this as a system. And this is the first time I'm actually going to review the expansions on this. They have a Klingon and Romulan.
Correct. I was going to say, this is the core set. So these are the 2 factions that come in like the base thing. And there are other expansions that come later on, which we'll delve in later.
So I'm actually looking at this as a system. So where would you land on Star Trek away missions?
Oh, one thing before I do my skills, I did like how you could do the bonus actions if you had less players on the board too.
Yes.
I did like, sorry, I meant to put that as my pro. But I did like how they did that. That was nice. So, if I had taken some Borgs out, you would get extra bonus actions. Or if I had been taken out, I would get that was, I did like that. Yeah.
I like that too. I really like the whole mitigation as far as you're going to lose players. And the fact that you can't mitigate much because you've got 3 rounds.
True.
So
each person gets 6 actions the whole game. That's it.
Yeah. So besides the bonus action, but then it's really nice. But yeah, that mitigation is good.
Yeah. Okay.
So, all right. So where would you fall on it then?
I would give this probably a 6.5.
6.5.
Yes. Right. I liked the game. I enjoyed the game. Like I said, it did let me down though a little bit because I thought there would be more fighting and more interaction, and it really is just me doing my own thing, you doing your own thing, and let's see who can get the most amount of points.
Yep. So I'm actually I'm the same way. I went back and forth. I played this numerous times. Played with Tom. Played with Alex. Played with so many different people, and many times it did fall flat.
Yeah.
But each time I can see how I really, really like the system.
Correct. I did enjoy the system, and I did like that, and I'm excited to go back and now try those expansions to see how what do they bring to this game.
And I want to see what it does. So I'm coming at a 7 on this because I do enjoy the game. I would approve it, and I want to put the seal on it to tell you that try this if you're looking for a good Star Trek mission game. Yeah. But also don't stop with this. Because we're going to go ahead, like the Klingon, I think, is probably going to push you more into battle. So you're going to have to interact with other characters and things. And you keep going back and forth, right? So I really think the brilliance in this is going to come from the expansions rather than the core set.
Yeah.
This probably just gets you going. I like the system it puts forward, and I'm very, very hopeful about what Gale Force 9 puts out later. And I want to see all the characters, and I want to see what kind of world they can create. Crusher.
Yes.
Crusher. You just picked Crusher randomly.
I did, Beverly Crusher. I think she would be a good medic.
All right. I think Crusher. Yes. So
there you go.
I want to see all of them in there. But yeah, so this is Star Trek Away Missions. If you like Star Trek, you probably already heard of it. Give it a try. But no, going in, give the less experienced person the Federation, and whoever is more experienced in board games, give them the Borg, because you are going to have a struggle winning, but you're going to enjoy it.
It's a fun game. I enjoyed this game. I'm excited to delve deeper into this little world.
Yep, and we will get the expansions on this channel ASAP and let you know what to think about the
wait.
Klingons and the Romulans. Whoa. Yes. All right. Thanks, guys. I'm Joey Evans.
I'm Alex Evans.
And go explore the universe.
Where no man has gone before.
There it is.
There we go. We got there.